Hey yo guys, how's it going? I'm just doing a video here on my phone for Rover Sports, reporting in. Gonna talk about the AFC. AFC's been very hard to do a playoff reaction for. I got a lot of teams, only 6 spots in the playoffs. It's gonna be a hell of a fight in the AFC this year. When I look at the AFC, I see a couple of teams that are being overvalued, a couple are being undervalued. Most of the top dogs I like, though. I love what the Chargers did getting Nasir Adderley. That defensive secondary is going to be unbelievable. Jerry Tillery is going to come in and be fantastic. Phillip Rivers is playing very good football. Hunter Henry's going to be healthy. Melvin Gordon's nothing but consistent. Anthony Lynn proved he can coach. Ken Wisenhunt gets along with Rivers fine. This is a really good Chargers team. One of the best defenses in the NFL with Derwin James and Adderley and Casey Hayward. This Chargers team is probably going to win the AFC regular season. Looking at the AFC East, that's dominated by the Patriots. The Patriots pick up Winovich, Jawan Williams. You have Stidham. Things go awry, but it should be Tom Brady. It should be this team in the AFC East. Not too exciting. The Bills are going to be the biggest threat to the Patriots, but they're not old enough. They don't have the head coach to do it. Their quarterback is getting better, but I don't know if he's ready to take that elite level step and win the division from Brady. I think that's going to take another 2 years probably. And I just don't know about Sean McDermott. I like what the Bills did, though, with Singletary, getting Mitch Morse, bringing in Cole Beasley, John Brown. They had themselves a really good offseason of getting in free agents, and Brandon Beane is doing a really nice job building a team. So I think Buffalo is going to make that wild card spot. In the AFC South, a lot of people are really down on Jacksonville. I am not ready to close the book on Jacksonville. I really was one of the first people last year to call their demise last year. But I like Nick Foles, Josh Allen, Jawan Taylor. They had themselves a good offseason. This is a huge year for Doug Marrone. He obviously could get fired. He was close to getting fired. So you look at the South, the Colts are just really solid. Chris Ballard, Frank Reich. They had Paris Campbell, T.Y. Hilton, their defense of Darius Leonard. They also had a couple of good linebackers in there, some good pass rushers. Rock Ya-Sin. The Colts are a really good team. I love how they're managed. They don't bring in any guys that are really flashy free agent signings. Very consistent, good group. If Andrew Luck stays healthy, they're easily going to win that division. The Houston Texans and Bill O'Brien, when I look at the coaches that are going to get fired in the AFC, Bill O'Brien in Houston is a big sell for me. I see Bill O'Brien absolutely getting fired. That playoff game was a disaster. The Houston Texans were only good last year because of how easy their schedule fit around them. Bill O'Brien is an overrated head coach. And Houston and Deshaun Watson, they don't get along. That defense is getting really old. Romeo Crennel is getting old in a hurry. They missed out on Andre Dillard and had a very, very mediocre draft. Houston is going to take a nosedive. Tennessee is a great candidate for getting fired for Mike Vrabel. Very average team. A quarterback in Marcus Mariota that I really trusted. I still love the kid, but he's been injured too often. His arm strength hasn't been elite. He's only won one playoff game. That franchise hasn't taken the next step in the development. Corey Davis needs to have a huge year. You signed a couple of veterans like the guy Cameron Wake. Your secondary is pretty good. I like Malcolm Butler and the Patriots guys. Can you put it all together and make a wild card? You're not going to beat the Colts. Colts beat you 10 straight times. It's a very competitive AFC. Very competitive. So I like Jacksonville. I like their defense. I really like Foles. I like the potential that the Jaguars have. DeFilippo, I like that potential. But I am going to go with my second wild card. I'm going to go Buffalo, the defense, Josh Allen, the home field advantage. I am also going to go with the Denver Broncos. I like Denver a lot. Joe Flacco is going to have a huge year, bounce back year, Scangarello. Vic Fangio is going to come second in the Coach of the Year voting to Cliff Kingsbury, another rookie head coach making the playoffs. That defense is unbelievable. You now add Draymond Washington to a front with Chubb and Von Miller. Josie Jewell is going to have an unbelievable season. The secondary of Harris is going to get better. Stewart, I don't know if Harris is going to be there for the long term, but you picked up a lot of cornerbacks in the draft last year. Justin Simmons is a really good player out there in the secondary. The offensive line picked up Reisner and Garrett Bowles. And O'Leary. I just love this team. I love Phillip Lindsay. Cortland Sutton showed great promise. Noah Fant's going to be unbelievable. Emmanuel Sanders is hungry. And Vic Fangio is just a mastermind on the defensive side of the football. So I think Chubb and Von Miller are going to have tremendous years, and I think Joe is good enough to win. Joe's won Super Bowls before. Joe can take Denver on a magical run. I think Elway's sensational. So I have the Chargers and the Broncos in the playoffs. I have the Bills and the Patriots. That leaves 2 spots left. The coaches that are going to get fired, I have Bill O'Brien getting fired, Ron Rivera getting fired, and Mike Zimmer getting fired. The other coach that will definitely get fired is John Harbaugh. The Ravens are going to be absolutely awful. There's a lot of people saying that the Ravens are going to be good. They got this Moneyball guy, DeCosta, coming in there. Their quarterback play is terrible. I don't trust Lamar Jackson at all. I don't trust that offense. Justice Hill, Trace McSorley, weird players. Mark Ingram is old and over the hill and you signed him. Earl Thomas was contemplating retirement and you paid him like $13 million. Crazy amounts of money. You lost some good players. Terrell Suggs is gone. You lost your defensive lineman. You're going to be absolutely terrible. The Browns are nothing but all hype. Odell Beckham already saying that they are going to be a Patriots level of dynasty. They haven't played one game together yet. A young team, a young quarterback, a really inexperienced head coach, and an ownership and a general manager that is really not the most stable owners and general managers out there. So when you look at the AFC North, I'm picking stability. I'm picking Big Ben Roethlisberger. I'm picking Mike Tomlin, Rooney, Colbert. I'm picking the Steelers to win that division. I agree with Cowherd on this one. I love the Steelers out of the AFC North to take a spot, to steal a bid. The Chiefs, Kansas City, I love Mahomes, but how much can you love Patty Mack? You can love Mahomes. Andy Reid's pretty freaking good. But that defense with Spagnuolo in year one, just such a competitive field. It's going to be hard to come back from the disappointment of last year of being so close. You get Frank Clark. You move on from D Ford. You bring in Honey Badger. Is Mecole Hardman going to beat Tyreek Hill? I don't know. Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, all that offseason uncertainty. Sure, the Chiefs can still be a good football team, but I just think Denver's going to take that spot. And I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers and the Denver Broncos. And Oakland is way too far away. They got to make small steps with this rookie class. The AFC South, Vrabel's a possibility to get fired. Marrone is absolutely a possibility. I think this AFC is really going to see a lot of carnage in this AFC. You Could see Marone. I have Vrabel, Harbaugh for sure. Harbaugh, O'Brien, Zimmer, and Ron Rivera. A lot of defensive coaches. Vrabel, Bill O'Brien's an offensive head coach, and Jim Harbaugh is a special teams kind of head coach. So, and Doug Marone's an offensive line coach. Those are the teams that I really see that could be the coaches that could tank. I think Pete Carroll as well. So those are the teams that I think are going to tank. You're going to see the Vikings, the Ravens, the Seattle Seahawks are not going to be a good football team. Kansas City is very weird, but Andy Reid's still going to be there. That'll be shocking. The Patriots are good. You could see Adam Gase be fired. I didn't address that. You could see Gase fired. McDermott isn't a great coach, but I expect the Bills to be wild card bound. I love McDermott with Brandon Beane. It's too stable. Brian Flores can absolutely still be fired as a rookie head coach. The Miami Dolphins are not going to be any good either. So that's kind of how I see this AFC shaking out. I think it's going to be really an interesting race for the AFC. The NFL is very competitive. Good quarterbacks, pretty good head coaches, pretty balanced rosters. This is going to be a heck of an AFC. I cannot wait to see how it plays out.